Good morning to each one of us. Welcome to the fifth episode of Dadat the DOST Scholar, a DOST Scholar story. My name is Gran.
Welcome to all of our viewers today. The DOST-CAR ongoing scholars, scholar graduates, prospective scholars, staff of DOST, University coordinators. I am Aldi and we will be your hosts for today.
And before we begin our episode of Dadat the DOST Scholar, let us all bow our heads for a moment of prayer.
Once again, welcome to all our viewers. For this activity, we expect that the SNT undergraduate scholarship programs will be promoted through the story of our graduate scholar. May it also bring inspiration to our viewer students to pursue SNT courses during their undergraduate studies. Before we start our activity, may we call on Dr. Nancy A. Bantog, our Regional Director of DOST-CAR, for her opening message.
Undersecretary Renato S. Solidum Jr., our participants and viewers, good morning and blessed day ahead to everyone. Today, this is the fifth episode of the Dadat the Scholar, an advocacy platform of the Department of Science and Technology Cordillera, is specific for the Science and Technology Scholarship Program. This at the Scholar is done once a month and through virtual platforms such as this morning. And this morning, we are very much privileged to have our Undersecretary Renato Solidum for the DOST regional operations. We are very grateful for him and for gracing this occasion. Also, we express our thanks to Engineer DINUMLA for acceding to our invitation for her to share her journey as DOST Science and Technology Scholar and to unleash her advocacy for the scholarship program of the agency. The DOST Undergraduate Science and Technology Scholarship Program started as early as 1958. It evolved until its current 3 programs specific for the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These are the Merit Scholarship Program, RA 7687, and RA 10612. Central to this DOST scholarship program is to achieve or establish the critical mass base of scientists, engineers, and researchers, which is 380 per million population. This is the standard set by the UNESCO for the country to be economically vibrant. Further, the Philippine Development Plan recognizes the role of science, technology, and innovation, or STI, in the nation's long-term economic and social progress. This is the driving force for the DOST to persistently push for the students to take up STEM-aligned courses. To encourage the students, our agency continuously offers the scholarship programs and is continuously updating the coverage of courses and the benefits as well. The courses now include pharmacy, medtech, doctor of veterinary medicine, agribusiness, agribusiness management and entrepreneurship, architecture, animal husbandry, among others. This means that any interested senior high school student will have wider choices of courses to pursue and not limited to engineering and natural science courses like before. Moving on, since 2020, it was challenging due to the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of mobility and face-to-face implementation of activities. This has forced all institutions, organizations, and individuals to adjust to the new normal. The OST, on its part, adapted the virtual platforms to implement its programs, projects, and activities. Thus, this at the DOST Scholar. This was launched on January 29, 2021. This is a new advocacy initiative of the DOST-CAR towards inclusive enhancement of science culture throughout the region. When I say inclusive, the farthest barangay in CAR should have been informed of the DOST scholarship program. With DOST as the premier agency for STI, DOST-CAR remains steadfast in promoting the scholarship program for priority SNT courses, which I have mentioned a while back. engaging the DOST's scholar graduates as ambassadors of Science and Technology Scholarship Program became one of our means, and fortunately, they are volunteering their services. No one is better to promote our scholarship program than the scholars themselves. One main goal of this advocacy or this activity is to encourage students to pursue science and technology courses. To the incoming college students, we are encouraging you to avail of this scholarship program of our agency. Be counted in the next 4 or 5 years as one of the DOST's scholars, and for you later on to be counted in the critical mass base of scientists, engineers, and researchers in the country. To all of you, welcome to this fifth at the DOST Scholar. God bless everyone, and looking forward to seeing you as scholar ng bayan, in particular, scholar ng DOST. Thank you all, and God bless everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nancy. To fully understand why we conduct this activity every month, may I call on Ma'am Alicia Ibalacqua, SRS2, and the Scholarship Coordinator of the DOST-CAR to explain to us the rationale of this activity.
Good morning, everyone. The Philippines has 270 research and development personnel per million population. According to UNESCO's 2015 survey of R&D expenditure and human resources, this is below UNESCO's standard of 380 research and development personnel per million population. In the Cordillera Administrative Region, we only have 467 R&D personnel. This is lower than the regional distribution of 13,107 R&D personnel in the country's capital region. Prior to the imposition of travel restrictions and quarantine protocols, the DOST-CAR advocated the agency's scholarship program in order to invite more students and possible increase the R&D pool of human resources. Among the efforts to promote the scholarship program is the scholarship caravan conducted in all the provinces of the region, where geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas were prioritized. With the increasing reach of information technology in the country, the DOST-CAR has launched on January 29, 2021, the DOST Scholar, as part of its continuing information drive to invite the youth to be scholars for the nation. The term "dadat" is a Kankanai term that refers to an indigenous knowledge system and practice where the elders in the Cordilleras pass stories through word of mouth and is traditionally done by chanting. Hence, this activity.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Alice. And may we now hear the recorded inspirational message from the Undersecretary for Science and Technical Services and the officer in charge of the Office of Undersecretary for Regional Operations of the Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Renato U. Solidum Jr.
CAR family, DOST scholars, students, viewers, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning. The Department of Science and Technology, Science Education Institute, or DOST-SEI, persistently pursues its role in nation building by producing graduates in the diverse fields of science and technology. In this time of pandemic, challenges continue to grow, and thus there is a need for innovative strategies to cope with the challenges brought about by COVID-19, not only in our country, but all over the world. This situation has made the role of science and technology even more crucial. And with it comes the need to increase the number of scientists, researchers, and engineers in the country. It is for this reason that the DOST-SEI, with the support from the DOST regional offices, continues to beef up its advocacy to encourage more students to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM. Among others, the DOST implements scholarship programs for college and graduate students who would like to take STEM courses. We also provide support to high school students through our Philippine Science High Schools established in all regions in the country. Despite the limited resources, DOST continues to push boundaries to bridge the gap between the country's science and technology, human resources, and the UNESCO's standards. The DOST Secretary, Fortunato T. de la Peña, recently announced that in August of this year, SEI will announce 12,000 new qualifiers under the DOST-SEI Undergraduate Scholarship Program and about 2,000 qualifiers for the junior level science scholarship. Note that these are more than just numbers. They could translate to more than 10,000 STEM professionals and hence a bigger and stronger science community for the country. I am happy to note that the DOST regional offices never ran out of ideas and creative ways of promoting our scholarship programs and the importance of science, technology, and innovation for nation building in general. This DAD-at-D, DOST Iskolar, translated a DOST scholar story, is among the many efforts of DOST Cordillera Administrative Region aimed at encouraging our youths to pursue course in any of the STEM fields. Through this platform, the DOST Scholar graduates become ambassadors for our scholarship programs. Already on its 5th episode, I am happy that DAD-at-D, DOST Scholar, has gained the interest of many. And I'm sure that, just as in the previous episodes, our viewers, especially the students, will be inspired in the success story of our guest this morning, Engineer HANSI G. DINUMLA. Later, we will be hearing Engineer DINUMLA's inspiring story on how the DOST scholarship has changed her life and helped her become an effective S&T ambassador, especially in the field of disaster risk reduction and management. While I would not like to preempt what Engineer DINUMLA will tell us, let me just share and recognize her for the important role she plays in the implementation of the disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation initiatives of the DOST-CAR. Especially so that the agency is the Vice Chair for Disaster Prevention and Mitigation under the Cordillera Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. It is worth highlighting that the development of the Cordillera Disaster Risk Reduction Management Information System, DRRMIS, by the DOST-CAR has paved the way to a more efficient disaster management in the region. May the students in attendance today grab the opportunity to be DOST scholars and strive to be part of the country's already growing science community. Help us reach or even surpass the UNESCO standards in terms of science and technology human resources. Thank you, and God bless everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you very much, Yusek Rene, for that message and for sacrificing your time to inspire all our viewers for today.
And now, may we ask Ma'am Jenna B. Halorina, Provincial Director of Ifugao Science and Technology Center, to formally introduce our speaker for today.
Good morning to each and everyone. For today's episode of the DOST Scholar, the task of introducing our resource speaker is a privilege. We are certain that our guest is a great example on how the DOST Scholarship Program helped her in her academic journey. Before taking a bachelor's degree, She took a foundation course of Associate in Computer Technology at the University of Baguio in 2000, graduated with merits, and a DOST Scholar. In 2003, she took BS Computer Engineering at the University of the Cordilleras and graduated as a Scholar of the Willie and Gunn Foundation in 2006. Since learning ought to never end, our guest continues to pursue higher education, currently taking up Master in Urban Management at the Benguet State University. Likewise, she joined numerous trainings and seminars, mainly on disaster risk reduction management and information and communication technology. She started as a machine operator at the Hitachi Global Storage Technologies and was also an engineering apprentice for Failure Analysis Laboratory at Texas Instruments Philippines Incorporated until she eventually became a new product development engineering support staff at the same company. Our graduate scholar also became an English tutor and an IT instructor at the Ifugao State University until she was finally employed as a permanent staff of the Department of Science and Technology, Cordillera Administrative Region. She started as a science research analyst in 2011 and was promoted to Science Research Specialist 2 in 2016, serving the said organization for almost 10 years. In 2017, she passed the board exam and is now a licensed environmental planner. Her contribution to the DOST-CAR was recognized, having been awarded the Best Employee under the Office of the Regional Director for 2 consecutive years. She also received numerous certificates and a plaque of recognition from other partner agencies in recognition to her contributions, particularly in the field of the RRM. A member of the board of the Institute of Computer Engineers of the Philippines, CAR Chapter, and member of the Philippine Institute of Environment Planners, North Luzon Chapter, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Engineer HANSI G. DINUMLA.
Thank you, Ma'am Jenna. Before our formal interview with Engineer Hansi, allow us to present to you a short AVP of our resource speaker. Good morning, Engineer Hansi. How are you?
Hello, good morning too. And thanks for inviting me to be part of this uh, activity for the scholarship unit.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am Hansi, for our interview proper, Yusek Rene will be asking you 3 questions. And this is your first question, ma'am.
Why did you apply for the scholarship?
So I have applied for the scholarship since it was actually an offer by the school. I believe the DOST is sending out letters to schools for the promotion of their scholarship, and our school is one of the recipients of that letter. So they provided to us, they offered to us, and I think there are some qualification or some requirements for this. So we were picked out. It's like we're just a few. So we were picked out by the school. So we just grabbed the opportunity to take the exams. Although since we were in a far-flung or a remote area, we do not have any access to internet or to other information sources. So it came to us as an opportunity to be picked out for the exams. So that's it.
What did you enjoy most about your DOST scholarship?
Okay, so aside from it was actually a generous package. So we were given financial assistance, but aside from that, we were able to enjoy being part of the scholarship program of the DOST. It was actually an honor, and in our school, we were given special treatments actually during those times because of our scholarships. So, for example, when we have exams, we need to get permits, exam permits. But then for DOST scholars, we need not line up in a queue just to get our permits. One of our coordinators is I think the vice president of the university. So he was also able to provide some special offers as a scholars. So those small things are really, for us as students, those are really great ones.
What were the challenges that you encountered being a DOST scholar?
The greatest challenge actually is on the grade requirements. So we have to comply with, I think, 85%, general weighted average of that. So there were times that in some of our subjects, we get lower grades, but in some also we have high grades. So we were fortunate enough to comply with the requirement. So especially when we were in the first year, especially for us from the provinces, that we have to really adjust to college life as well as living in the city. So that also came as a challenge to us, and we were thankful. But we were thankful because we have this. Summer orientation enrichment program by the DOST also. So it was offered for us prior to our entry to the university. So it did help us a lot. And also with regards to challenges with our school requirements as DOST scholars. So we were in a block section. So most of us were DOST scholars. We were able to help each other. So we also gained friends, and we actually bonded by helping each other, especially for our school requirements.
What were the most important things that the scholarship taught you?
So actually for the 3 years when I have enjoyed the scholarship, the DOST scholarship, there were a lot of learnings aside from the learnings or the classes in school, the topics or the subjects in school. We had a lot of realizations as scholars, and also a lot of it's like lessons learned outside our classroom, and also from the nature of the course we have taken up. So we were actually taught more of patience and determination. Actually, when we were in high school, I'm like talking like we are many, but I'm representing our class. We were a lot actually, and in our class, most of us are DOST scholars. So it's a black section. So parang only a few, like 2 or 3, were non-DOST scholars that time. So there were times we were realizing that we would perhaps give up, because especially that it's a 3-year program. It's not a degree course, unlike the other scholarships na, di ba, 4 or 5 years for engineering. So that was just a 3-year program. So we were thinking to perhaps defer or to give up the scholarship and pursue degree courses. But then all of us, the whole class actually, we not really all pala. There were like just 3 who stopped, but we were able to, most of us were able to continue and finish the 3-year program. So it taught us actually patience and that of determination. And also it's one of the ways for us to really think or to have a dream or a vision in life. Because when you're in high school, for me, I really do not have any idea on what course to take in college. I just took up the exams or the entrance exams in SLU that time. So I just took it up, and I think I marked down social work as my preferred course. I'm not really sure. Perhaps I have just heard it outside or somewhere. So when I took the exam, I kind of chose that. So I do not have really a very clear plan on what to take in college, and even my classmates at that time. So the 3 years, we were able to see or to realize what really to do in life, or what we really want to do in life. So it gave us that opportunity to have a dream or a vision. So those were the learnings. I think that time I was able to have a good grasp of.
Thank you so much po, ma'am. And according po to Engineer Hansi, patience and determination is very important, mostly to those scholars out there who are studying. And now let's proceed to the next question po. Was there a particular moment or memory that stand out to you during your scholarship period?
So that was really a long time ago. But then, as I have mentioned, we were, it was a block section, so we were together for around 3 years. Because actually we were able to finish our course in 2.5 years. So we have spent the last semester as OJTs, and also that opportunity, there was an opportunity provided to us by the Hitachi Global Technologies. So they came to our school and offered that it's actually a contractual job with them, and then they will also provide us they will give us grades for us to complete our OJT subject. So we grabbed that. We were employed, and also that was also our OJT. So those were one of the most memorable experiences as a DST scholar. So it was an opportunity for us. Most of us in our section actually grabbed that opportunity, and we were deployed in Laguna. So that was our first time to be away from our families. So at first we thought it was just it was kind of a training or something of a new experience, but then it's really work. So we were kind of surprised that we were expecting an on the job training, but actually it's the actual work in a company. So aside from that, actually prior to that, for us to finish our last semester with the university, we had to also come up with a thesis. So those were one of the times na actually the real challenge, because it's a thesis. We have to present, and it has to be and we have to pass that. So it's quite memorable because of it's really hard. The thesis preparation, or that it was like a project. So it's we have to come up with an information system. So as a group, we have to come up with that. So it was actually also a challenge. It's really a challenge, but then it's really memorable because we have to work together. So even at night, so we do overnight activities with our group, and also during our classes, of course. Though it's a scholars section, as I have mentioned, ano pa rin mahirap pa rin yung mga subjects. So there were times that we get to be, it's like if it's with the ang tawag dun sa degree course, you could be recognized as dean's listers because you have high grades. So we had also those opportunities, and it was also memorable to be recognized. And there were also times that dahil dun sa magkakaibang mga subjects, so we have different subjects, and we have to meet that expectation of the required grade or average. We really have to help each other. So the culture of the pangungopia actually became actually legal with us. It's something natural with us as a section. So we do. That's how we help each other. Hindi naman sa laging nangungopia, dapat nagpapakopya ka rin. So it's we call it teamwork, and also it's generosity. So those were the times which really stick to my memory.
Ang dami pong nakwento ni Ma'am na most memorable moments niya when she was a DOST scholar. Pero po yung tumatak yung pangungopia. And now, so Ma'am, why do you think other people should know about this scholarship program?
Well, aside from the I have mentioned the generous package, especially now, I think umabot sila ng like 7,000, I think, for some the type of scholarship. Aside from that financial assistance, I think it's also it's the honor that if you are a DRC scholar, it's really recognized, especially that there are already also a lot of DRC scholars who excelled in their fields. So it's really an honor, and also the process to become one is not as easy as like just showing some documents. So you have to take also the exams and then pass. So ano siya, hindi siya, it's like it's special. It's not like other scholarships. And also aside from that, it's of course this is this opportunity given by the government also. It's actually their investment. So they will also be giving the opportunity to be hired by government offices, especially the DOST. Kasi bakit ka naman mag-i-invest and then you will not use it? So there, I think it's like it's a double win if you will be able to be a scholar and also to be hired by the government or a very good company.
I hope madami nang ma-encourage na mag-apply ng scholarship na ito in the future. Ma'am, how has this scholarship changed your life?
Actually, indirectly, or I think it's directly, the scholarship changed my life. So as I have mentioned in my very long story about being part of the DOST scholarship program for like 3 years. And then after that, I did not work. Actually, we just finished the 6 months and we resigned from our OJT slash job, actual job. So we resigned because we went back to our realizations when we were still with the university on what really we really want to do in life. So that actually challenged me also to go back to school to take up a degree course. So I took up computer engineering after the 3 years. I was able to finish it also in 3 years because it's at the University of the Cordilleras. And fortunately that for the 3 years, I was also able to pass another scholarship, which sustained me for that my engineering journey. And after that, actually, I never realized, or I never wished to work with the government. I never imagined myself working with the government. I first landed a job with a company. So it's like the Texas Instruments. Hitachi is also on technology production. So my mind was actually on that, to be able to land a job in also a similar company. But the time, I think that was the time that was the recession in the US. So worldwide, the economies have been affected. So medyo konti lang yung nakahire sa mga private, especially sa mga the likes of the TI and MOG na really affected during those times. So I was kind of a job hopper. Palipat-lipat ako ng job until I was with although IFSU, parang doon ako tumagal 1 year. So tumagal pa rin yung 1 year na term sa akin kasi the others mostly parang 6 months, 3 months, and then move to another job. So that was my longest, I think, 1 year with the Iskolar State University. And then again, the scholarship, because of that scholarship, I was able to be hired here in the DOST-CAR. So it did change, or it did kind of what they call that? It did change my life. So my perspective that of not really working with the government, it's more of that eyeing positions with the private para bumalik. So na-realize ko na may ano pala, there's another world, that of the government sector. So there, it's I think the scholarship thing did that to my life.
Fun things talaga happening sa ating buhay without expecting. But at least, ma'am, to you, ma'am, HANSI, nakatulong yung DOST scholarship mo para ma-employ sa government.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yun, ma'am. We all know that all DOST scholars are obligated to render service obligations to our country. May you tell us your story and how you rendered your service obligation?
Parang medyo nakwento ko na yung iba, no? Kasi I was able to land different jobs and kahit na iba-iba, at least if you have employment certificates, you'll be able to show that you are serving your country. And actually, during those times, I was thinking to really complete yung 3 years na service obligation so that I could apply abroad. So kahit anong job, kinukuha ko para lang to complete the 3 years para may maipakita akong for clearance sa DOST. But then, yun nga po, I have told na yung kwento ko about coming back to DOST. So parang after a lot of job hopping, I landed here. So that's it. I was able to finish na. I'm already around 9, magto 10 years na ako dito sa DOST. So I think I'm done with my service obligation, but I'm still serving the country. And also, I actually forgot about service obligation. I was not able yet to get my clearance from the scholarship. Di ba ako nag-a-apply eh. So, I think it's because nandito nga ako sa Philippines pa. So, I think yun, for our scholars din na ganun, you have to really find a job. Kahit anong job, I think that could lead you to somewhere you really want to be. So either here in the country or perhaps abroad, but we wish na dito pa rin sa atin.
You have mentioned a while ago po, ma'am, that you are already a permanent staff po of the DOST-CAR. What advice would you want to give other DOST SEI graduates who wants to enter or become part of the different offices of the Department of Science and Technology?
I do recommend na when you graduate already and there are opportunities sa government na really, especially sa DOST, you apply, you take that opportunity. And also even sa companies. So in any way, directly or indirectly, as long as may nagagawa tayo for us, for our fellow men, I think that is the best service obligation. Actually, even if walang binibigay na certificate of employment sa atin, that will still be part of our service obligation. When I'm with the DOST, actually nung mga first years ko, second or what, there were really sacrifices, especially in the government, na will not be compensated for every action or every sacrifice you give to your work. So that's one actually for me, parang hindi ko masyadong iniisip yun. It's like part of the service obligation. So I have enjoyed the scholarship for that. It actually changed my life. So parang ano lang din. That's just maliit lang yun for our country.
Okay po. To all our graduate scholars, let us remember the words of wisdom of Ma'am HANSI a while ago. The best serving the country is the best service obligation that we could offer. In this season po, ma'am, we are facing the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are having DOST ongoing scholars who are suffering with this pandemic. What advice would you want po to share with these scholars po, or to all of our students po?
Actually, last year, nung nag-start yung pandemic, I really appreciated kasi may mga initiatives yung mga DOST scholars. Sila pa yung nag-volunteer. So I think those are really very good to emulate for the other scholars. But then you have mentioned na may mga nagsasuffer. So perhaps we do not know, especially that mental health is one of the parang effects nitong pandemic. So we hope na for that to be prevented or perhaps to be mitigated. So nabanggit ni Yusek, di ba kanina, on disaster prevention and mitigation. Actually, this pandemic is one of the disasters. So for students, for scholars, there are a lot of webinars, there are a lot of online trainings provided for free. So I think one of these being able to attend, you'll get busy aside from gaining knowledge or new knowledge. You'll get busy also, and that will perhaps prevent any mental breakdowns that could possibly happen. So I think we should grab this time to be to gain more knowledge from even I think even international webinars, international conferences, and others. And also with this new, it's like this is the for this decade, this is like the first time that we have this pandemic. I think this does not just pose a threat to us, humanity, but it's also a challenge to our innovativeness. And as DSC scholars, I believe na marami kayong pwedeng magawa, marami kayong pwedeng ma-innovate, ma-invent for the country, for your barangays, for your provinces. You can really help. So we know, especially those na may mga classes pa there, you can still have, you might still have time na yun po, to innovate and to gain more knowledge online.
Thank you so much po, ma'am, for that great advice to all of our students. And may we ask you din po to promote the DOST-SEI scholarship program to all of our viewers for today?
So to all our viewers, especially po din sa mga interested to pursue science and technology courses, we have a lot to offer po sa DOST. So you just, if there are times na hindi po umaabot sa inyo yung mga promotional materials, open naman po yung mga websites, yung mga Facebook pages po ng DOST, and even other government agencies, mga government scholarships po na available. So for the DOST, as I have mentioned, mga special po yung mga packages nila, scholarship packages, and also after na ma-finish mo yung, let's say for the high school, you have the PSI. For college, you have the SEI from the USD SEI. And after that, you can still apply for master's or PhD scholarship. So parang bubuhayin ka ni DOST half of your life. And then pagka natapos mo lahat doon, you also might have that opportunity to be part of the DOST system as an employee, or perhaps as a researcher, or perhaps an innovator or an inventor. So bumabalik ka pa rin sa DOST. So parang DOST is life. DOST is life now that for you. So I invite everyone, even yun na po, mga graduate na marami pang mga scholarship packages yung DOST na available. And if kayo ay hindi ay mga tapos na sa mga PhD niyo or mga masters, may mga packages pa available sa DOST through our research and development grants. So yan po, hindi po natatapos yung mga ino-offer sa inyo DOST.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for answering the questions.
Thank you very much, Linto.
Thank you so much, Ma'am HANSI, for sharing your journey as a DOST SEI graduate. And now, may I ask Ma'am Novi to share the different lessons learned in this talk for today. Ma'am Novi?
Thank you, Ma'am HANSI, for this life story that you have shared to us. It indeed gave us good lessons for life. So may I take this opportunity to share with you, our viewers, some of the life lessons that we can get from her story. Patience and determination enabled Engineer HANSI on her studies, and it's a good note for us to have these attitudes also. This scholarship gave her the opportunity to realize her dreams and vision. May we also aspire to grab this scholarship opportunity for us to see or realize where we are headed. If you are a DOST scholar, it will serve as an honor and recognition. She continued her engineering journey from associate in computer technology to computer engineering. May we also pursue our journey, whatever it takes. She still serves the country despite completing her service obligation. She even forgot about her service obligation. Like her, let us also enjoy our career and serve the country. Serving the country is the best service obligation that we could offer. Sacrifices may not be well compensated in the government sector, but it has changed Engineer Hansi's life. Join webinars or trainings to gain knowledge and get busy and prevent mental breakdowns that may happen. Let this not become a threat, but enable us to become more innovative for the improvement of our community and the country as well. For Mom Hansi's life, here is her hashtag. DOST is life. Thank you.
And now, please allow me to read this certificate of appreciation. The Republic of the Philippines and the Department of Science and Technology award this certificate of appreciation to Engineer HANSI G. DINUMLA in grateful acknowledgement of her invaluable inspiration, dedication to public service, and commitment as a DOST scholar. Given this 28th day of May 2021 during that at the DOST Scholar, a DOST Scholars Story, held at the DOST-CAR Regional Office, signed by Dr. Nancy A. Bantog, our Regional Director for DOST-CAR.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will also be giving a simple token together with a certificate po, ma'am.
Thanks as well.
To formally close this activity, may I now call on Dr. Pipita S. Pikpikan, our Assistant Regional Director for Technical Services, to deliver her closing remarks.
To our Undersecretary Renato U. Solidum Jr., our resource speaker, Ms. HANSI DINUMLA, USC Scholars, USC CAR family, led by our Regional Director, Dr. Nancy Bantog, and the Provincial Science and Technology Directors, USC CAR Scholarship Coordinator, Ms. Alice Balacqua, with the scholarship unit staff who facilitated this activity, all the listeners and viewers, good morning to all. In behalf of the DOST CAR, we thank everyone for your participation that made this month's series of at the DOST Scholar successful. We highly appreciate the inspiration, participation, and support of our Honorable Undersecretary, Dr. Solidum, and our Regional Director, Dr. Bantog. We congratulate and highly appreciate the participation and sharing of Ms. HANSI DINUMLA, who is among the successful and exemplary models of DOST Scholar graduates. Thank you, Ms. HANSI, for engaging in this series of the DOST Scholar. You are a testimony that things become possible, and perseverance and commitment to your goals and to the objectives of the scholarship program. You have surpassed the challenges during your DOST scholarship, and what you are today inspire not only the current scholars and potential scholars, but all the listeners and viewers. You are one of our notable models for the scholars and soon-to-be scholars to emulate. To all the listeners and viewers, we hope you were inspired. To the potential scholars, we hope you were encouraged and challenged to aspire as DOST scholar and become one of the future researchers, engineers, or scientists. As future DOST scholars and scholar graduates, you will contribute and help increase the science and technology human resources for the development of the region and whole country as well. We look forward to more testimonies of success from other DOST scholar graduates in the next series of the at the DOST Scholars. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Pita. I just want to thank all of our viewers for joining us today. Kindly answer once again our evaluation form. Link is on the comment section po. See you once again next month for another episode of our Dad at the DOST Scholar. God bless everyone and stay safe.